Well, I guess Chantel has just decided to die from diabetes. Um, wow. Let me pull this back. I know French Fried Girl yells a lot, and she does go into a lot of rage. I think she and Karina and um, I don't know how many other YouTubers have some sort of internal fighting beefs with Chantel and Amberlynn. And so there's a bit more like, oh my God, this is 2 hours, 47 minutes. I'm just going to do the binge portion of it because apparently, like, she puts in some Toronto coverage from like a couple years ago, too. But I think it starts somewhere around 9 minutes.
Book of the month. They have curators reading hundreds of books and then
it's monetized. I think it starts around 9 minutes. I'm trying to pull this back. I can't. My finger's not doing it. All right, close enough. Close enough. Close enough.
or possibly the most painful memory looking back for Chantal. Because this was the week that he claimed her, all right? We are going to be watching.
Okay, so this is like, she's talking about the Toronto section of this video. I'll drop the link. So if you want to watch like the whole thing, you want to watch the Toronto footage, the allegation is that Chantel allegedly provided an alibi for a friend of hers who was being accused of some level of sexual assault. I'm not exactly sure the total backstory on that, and I don't know that I necessarily want to dive into it. Um, I don't know that I really care to learn about that right now, but the eating is so disturbing to me because I had several relatives that developed adult onset diabetes, and one of um, my grandfather's sisters had to have both legs amputated as a result of it.
The reacts from Toronto tonight. Toronto. The Toronto trip, aka the only week in almost 2 years that Koki actually claimed our girl. Now, in hindsight, we of course understand why he claimed our girl. Motherfucker there was a situation with May, and this schmuck needed an alibi, and she was dumb enough to come on live stream and try and give him that fake alibi. We all called her out because, of course, the night that he had apparently met up with May, she was live streaming from the kitchen. We all saw the damn stream. So that was just a complete waste of an alibi. But yes, that is why he claimed her. And this, in my opinion, was the happiest that this woman has ever been in her entire life. And sadly, like it is very sad, but I genuinely mean that. I don't think she's ever had so much fun, had so much chemistry or seeming to with anyone in her entire life. And yeah, just
so maybe I'll circle back for this to see like how her personality was different when she was with an alleged sexual abuser versus her situation now. I mean, I think it would take a lot for a Canadian, she's a Canadian, or an American, or anybody from a Western world country to get on a dating app and decide to marry somebody from the Middle East, uproot their lives, move all the way out there to Kuwait. He seems like a nice guy, but I'm going to agree with French Fried Girl here that their romance doesn't seem very genuine. And one of the reasons I say that is because for those of us who have been in happy, loving relationships, we might show various pictures, or, things like going out to do things together, stuff like that. Um, or, wish each other a happy anniversary, happy birthdays, stuff like that. But it's pretty rare that you're going to see a happy couple every single day trying to reaffirm how much they love the person via live stream. Um, because at that point, it's like you're just trying to convince your audience. Maybe you're even trying to convince yourself. But we don't actually see them doing, I mean, from the live streams I've seen covered over the last few weeks, she's usually alone and just binge eating. We don't see them doing much together, and that's the best part of being in a relationship with somebody is being able to do fun things together, you know, and enjoy each other's company and wit and sense of humor. And I don't know. But let's take a look at this meal.
The fact that the crackhead was claiming her, they're at this fucking hotel and stuff. This was peak Chantal. And you can tell by the way Chantal behaves in these streams how little chemistry or how zero chemistry there is with her fake husband now. And she can sit there in all the videos she wants to and talk about, he's my protector, he's my this and that, he put a ring on it. It doesn't mean shit because chemistry is visible. I said this at the beginning. You can, when two people who are fucking look at each other, you can see it in the way that they look at each other. It's in the face. It's clear as day, right? Just like it's clear as day that these two have a completely platonic relationship and he seems pretty fucking fed up with her. That's just how it looks to us. But for anyone who doubts and maybe didn't see Toronto, brace yourselves because this is going to be eye-opening. This is Chantal in love, getting it in. You know what I mean? Happy Chantal. Before we do all...
Well, also, I think it's got to be very frustrating for him, whatever their grocery bills are. It's been suggested by some of the live streamers that he may have some level of like whatever Kuwaiti food stamps because he is a Syrian refugee who resettled in Kuwait. So there might be some benefits packages that he can use to kind of cover the cost of this, but the grocery hauls, I can't imagine that they're entirely free because when I was at my poorest and had to actually use a food bank, granted it was in America, granted it wasn't like I was on a refugee program or anything, but I never walked away. And I had a son. I was, single mom feeding a son. I never walked away from a food bank with that much food. So if she is getting some basic stuff from the food bank, she's got to be supplementing that with additional purchases, I would think. Right? Plus, it looks like she eats out. And I don't think she has a job. I don't know how well the monetization pays on her channel. I don't know how well, the fat fetish industry pays, quite frankly. But I imagine he probably has a job, right? And it sounds like they're actually pretty poor. They had to downgrade their car, which means that they took equity out of the other car, right? Or at least if they didn't have equity in the other car, they probably reduced their payment that they have to pay. Anyway, let's take a look at this.
That. However, we are, of course, going to start with Chantal, present day, catch up in real time, eating sub stop for lunch and where it all began. I hear she massively is off the wagon. She's eating a shit ton of food today. It's just a glut.
Oh, and the one that she did earlier this week, I think it was earlier this week, maybe it was an older reloaded video or something, where they went to PF Chang's. And for those of you who have been to PF Chang's, they do like family size servings of Chinese food. So when you order your dishes, you scoop some out, you put it on the rice, and you share it with everybody at the table. And whatever you can't finish, you pack up and take home with you, right? She cleared something like 3 family-sized plates while sitting at that table. That I don't know how you even get that in your stomach. Her stomach must be so stretched out at this point that it's just absolutely enormous.
This mess. So, fuck yeah, we're starting there. Jessica Smith, thank you for the super chat, girl. I appreciate it. Oof. Okay, that was a mouthful. Hold on. While we are reacting today, okay, so we're going to do kind of a triple react. We're going to do the present day. We're going to do 2 streams from Toronto, because there was one she had put up pretty quickly, and then one that she put up days after returning from the trip. We're going to watch both of those tonight. Their edits, they're pretty short. While we're going on, every once in a while, when I'm in the mood for some fuck shit, we're going to literally stop everything, take it off the screen, and do a random giveaway, okay? So, I've never done this live. I'm extremely nervous. Forgive me in advance if there's any hiccups or problems.
I think this is still going on right now. She said something about if you watch it like within 24 hours of her posting this, that you can put a comment on her video and still qualify for entry into this contest.
Or whatever. Why don't we do a little trial run before we even get started? What do you say? We'll just see if we got it, all right? We're going to start slow. We'll start with a calendar, a BBJ calendar, of course. Let me pop up on the screen. Aha! Oh my God, it's working so far.
So the BBJ calendar, that's a little backstory on that too. Apparently Chantal abandoned 2 of her cats to move to Kuwait. Not entirely abandoned them, not like my ex-boyfriend from 2012. She gave them to a friend or something like that. In my case, my ex-boyfriend basically just moved out and left them here, his 2 cats. And I tried for 6 months to get him to come and pick up his cats, and he refused to do it. But anyway, apparently, French Fried Girl is also in Canada and went to whoever actually was given these cats and took one of them, like adopted one of them, BB and J, I think, BBJ, something like that, which might have been her favorite cat. So she's been using BBJ. Hopefully she's also taking good care of the cat, I would assume. But she's been doing things like making calendars and kind of trolling Chantal with the fact that she has her cat now.
Yes, what I always say, I will be using the random YouTube comment picker. Voila, the YouTube comment picker. All right. So, why can't I see it? There we go. So this is the you put in the URL to the video. Let's say that we're picking the comments from yesterday's stream. Here's the URL from yesterday's stream. So I'm going to fetch us the comments. We're going to give everyone a fair chance here. All right. It's loading the comments up as we speak. And we'll only have to do this loading once. So it's taking a little longer for the first giveaway. But after that, we have the comments loaded. We're ready to go. All right. Okay. Still loading. Diligent Witch, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, girl. Beverly Prue, thank you for the super chat. For the bad guy, Merci beaucoup. I appreciate it. Somebody's got to be the bad guy. We can't all pretend to be fucking Pollyannas. I'm not that fake. Some of us are. I have no problem being the bad guy. It takes all kinds of people, in the world. All right. Our comments are loaded. Now, hold on. I have a paper going next to me, of course, because, I'm old. I have a paper with all the prizes written down and a pen. So as we draw the winner, I'm, of course, going to mark down the winner. All right. So the first giveaway of the night, like I said, a BBJ calendar. The winner is Moonlight. Woo! Congratulations, Moonlight. That is fantastic. Let me just mark this down here. Moonlight. Perfect. Okay. So, oh, damn it. I'm going to hawk in your faces. Congratulations on winning the calendar, Moonlight. That is fantastic, girl. So what we'll do, no stress. Not everybody is here even watching live, whatever. If you see this now, if you see this on the replay, if somebody goes, hey, you won something on that stream, hit me up. My email is frenchfriedgirl, all one word, @gmail.com. It is in, is it in the description of the streams? I'm not sure, but it's written up on the YouTube. If it's not in the description, all right? frenchfriedgirl, all one word, gmail.com. Just email me and we will get your prize out to you. Congratulations, Moonlight. Okay. That worked pretty well. All right. So we are going to now move on and start our first react. And yeah, I'm just going to pop in whenever the fuck I want to and be like, bam, giveaway, bam. All right. Sapphire, thank you so much for the super sticker, girl. I appreciate it. Tony D, thank you for the super chat. Glad you are here. Glad you are here. Thanks for being here, and I'm glad you guys like the new intro. It was some fuck shit. Okay, let's get rid of this for now, and let's get into some Shantopoulos stuff, all right? So we're going to start, of course, with the present day. Let's watch this heifer wolf down 2 sandwiches. Hold on, let me get the tab.
Which, by the way, my heaviest friends that I know, I've never seen any of them eat this much food before. And, just last week, I ordered some Panera bread. I got a ham sandwich and a cup of broccoli cheddar soup, broccoli cheese soup. I was unable to eat the whole sandwich. I split it in half, and then I split the half in half and ate that over the course of 2 days and could not finish the second half. I don't know how these women can scarf down this much food.
I feel like it's impossible to overcome. I feel like defeated. Hi guys, Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to another video. So today I have something that will make you judge me hardcore. But before you do, I have a lot of stuff to share with you guys.
No. You don't get to sit there after everything that's been going on in the past week to do with you, pull 2 fucking sandwiches out of that bag and tell us, but we can't judge you because you're going to tell us, bitch, we are judging you. We are judging you so bad right now. 2 sandwiches. You gave it.
She's, in reference to everything that's been going on this week, Chantel has been doing, using a glucose monitor to monitor her blood sugar while simultaneously binging like this. And her readings are off the chart, too high. I don't know what that is. I get added to so many groups in Facebook that and some of them change their names and stuff. Well, anyway, I digress.
You have no willpower, whatever. Get 1. Come on, man. And 1 would be bad enough because I can only imagine what's on that fucking sandwich, all right? You don't try. You legitimately don't try. And you think by coming out and whining about the fact that you can't, like, succeed, I don't know, it cancels out the calories or something. As usual, Chantal, all your whining and butting and all these sandwiches, it doesn't affect any one of us listening. It only affects you. So save all your butts. Deidre, thank you so much for the super chat. That's very nice of you.
Cat hair all over my face. I was kissing my cat to death, and it's all over me now. So, what I'm going to have today, what I'm eating right now is sub stop and 6-inch sub of different kind with some chips. I'm going to start with one sub. Keep this fair sandwich. One chip should be enough. For now, we'll see. Some pomegranate.
Where are you setting that stuff? Like, how is it going under the table? And by the way, if you think we're judging you, what happens when you actually buy this? Do you actually go somewhere to buy it, or are you ordering DoorDash to do it? And your delivery guy comes up and sees that it's only you eating? Like, I mean, aren't the people in your real life judging you as well? Because that's a crazy amount of food.
And juice. So I know you're thinking, Foodie Beauty, you have high blood sugars. What are you doing? Eating bad things for you. So what I've discovered is, and what I want to share with you, I don't want to share just the good times, Bismillah.
Oh, this is going to be fuck shit. I know it's going to be fuck shit. You know why? Because what I discovered. Oh, no. She's playing Scientist Zero tonight. She's made a discovery, y'all. We're morons. We don't know anything. The death fat is going to teach us what she's discovered tonight. Oh, no. What I've discovered is I'm going to keel over and croak in a month anyway. So might as well get the fucking sandwiches in. Because like I've been saying for the longest time, this is like leaving Las Vegas, but with food. This bitch is willing to just go. But she wants to go out in a blaze of glory and have a great fucking last time. Leaving Las Vegas, but with food. 1027 Anno, thank you for the super chat.
With you.
I've never seen that movie. But I imagine I understand what you're talking about. But I've never seen that movie.
I want to share when I'm struggling also. And clearly I'm struggling getting rid of food that's been comforting me for years.
Isn't that all food?
So let me get into that.
Oh, that sounds good. Lunar Flower Child, thank you for the super chat and the idea. I love it. Listen. Even the loser song, they're both good. So even the loser song, it'll have its place. I don't know what, but I'll make it fit somehow, somewhere.
God.
Because it turns out having any kind of health issues doesn't seem to be enough sometimes to keep me from eating bad things.
Yeah, and not only that, she's not even ashamed to admit it. She's monetizing it. Like, this isn't just I can't control myself. This is, I'm going to make money selling this bad behavior online. Right?
And I realized that, I'm going to the doctor after. I need to get on medication, like everyone was saying, until I can. I'm new here. I'm learning the healthcare system. I'm going to be trying to find help for my eating issues and stuff like that as well. So.
No, I don't know. I'm bored already. I want to leave, but I don't want to leave because I want to see how much she's going to eat. I'm new here and I don't know the medical this and that. Acting like she's all alone. When up until right now, she acts like she knows everything about the fucking Middle East. Stupid ass never leaves the fucking apartment. Is going to teach us all about it.
Chantal is Canadian. She left a country that had a national health care system. And she goes back to do her visa hopping to keep her visa current while she's in Kuwait. Why not see the doctor on one of those return trips, get the prescription, and then just transfer the prescription Can you do that? I would imagine you can, that if you've been prescribed medication in your home country, that you could probably figure out how to have it transferred to a pharmacy in Kuwait. This is so bizarre, this whole thing.
Knows everything when she needs to know everything, but then she knows nothing when she needs to play victim. I'm new here. I don't know about the medical system in the Middle East. I'm gonna look for help with my eating. Shut the fuck up. 7 years you have this fucking channel. 7 years I hear the same bullshit coming out of your mouth. You lived in a country where you go with your little card for free and you get your fucking help, whatever you need. You couldn't be fucked to do it here for free. We're supposed to believe that in the Middle East, you're going to waddle your fat ass out into the desert and pay for somebody to help you with this problem? Hard disagree. I don't fucking believe that for a second. You can't be fucked to help yourself. Huh? You live.
Does she get medical care through her husband? Is that part of their symbiotic relationship? Does he have a plan because he's a Syrian refugee that she gets to be added to because she's his wife?
Literally can't put down the fucking food. 2 sandwiches, 2 bags of chips, and fruit juice.
Yeah.
I need a specialist. Fucking God is gonna help me. I said God in prayer. God helps people who help themselves. You, fat fuck, don't help yourself. You don't help anything. You're a parasite on the world. You are. Nothing comes from you. Nothing positive at all. You are helpless.
Well, and also, God decides when it's your time to go. You know? None of us get to stay on the planet forever. We all return to the earth.
Hopeless. It is what it is. Put down the fucking sandwich. Jesus Christ, man. How about finding out how much it would cost to wire your jaw shut? I'm not saying that to be hateful. At this point, it seems like a quite rational solution to her problem. How much would it cost to go and have your jaw wired shut?
I'll keep you guys posted with that. But this is a 6-inch chicken teriyaki. Parmesan oregano bread.
God
Lettuce,
damn.
tomato, mayo, sweet onion sauce, Southwest sauce, jalapenos.
Fat fuck. Fat fuck. Mayo and South.
Yeah, it's high fat, high sodium, high sugar content. The teriyaki sauce, the other sauce. Why do you have so many goddamn sauces on this? And mayonnaise. Like, I mean, is this just like swimming in shit? It sounds disgusting. Like, why would you put all that on your sandwich? Oh my God. Like, once you have teriyaki, you already got your sauce, right? So then why do you need like the sweet onion and the mayonnaise and like, how does that improve the taste of your sandwich?
West sauce. That's like another form of mayo. On the only bread that has cheese on it. Cheese like on the outside of the bread, you know, just to make it a little more calories. Fuck, mayo and Southwest sauce. Most people would pick one or the other. And most people aren't pushing 500 pounds. Fork Sniffers Anonymous, thank you for the super chat, girl. I'm surprised you haven't gotten it yet. It must be on the way.
I'm at the edge of my seat, wondering what the second sandwich is, because I don't think she ordered 2 of the same kind, right? So let's see where we go here.
Olives.
No, like, I mean, I know it's on the way, but I'm surprised you haven't gotten it yet.
You know, when I ordered sandwiches, when I was dieting, I was looking for places to fit within certain calorie counts. One of the places I would go is Subway, and I would get usually a ham sandwich, but I would also make sure that it was like all vegetables on whole wheat bread, and a 6 inch, not a foot long. I'd get a 6 inch, and I would maybe put a little bit of ranch on it, but usually I would just let them kind of slather a little bit of olive oil and balsamic dressing on it. Um, but in moderation, like a really light amount. Um, I can't even imagine trying to, like, this would get all over your face and shit. This is like a Carl's Jr. commercial from the 90s.
No, MB, no. Thank you for the super chat, but no, I'm the bad guy. I want to be Bowser. Now that y'all have pointed out how much that did sound kind of like Bowser's Castle music, I want my face on a fucking Bowser, and I want to edit that on the like the very dark part of the intro.
Nice.
So I'm not trolling with this video. I'm just actually being very transparent and showing how I struggle to stay on track most times.
I don't think that's what you're showing us. I think you're trying to get clicks and monetization for binging.
I'm having trouble, like, being able to be consistent with eating super clean. I feel like starving and like not satisfied because that food, clean food, is obviously not doesn't satisfy.
Then you need to drink more water, because water will reduce your appetite so that you're not so hungry all the time. And on top of it, she smokes, right? Smoking is also an appetite suppressant. So it's amazing that she's gotten to this point.
Anything except for health, which is it should be.
Wow.
Yeah. That clean food doesn't satisfy anything. I got bad news for you, ma'am. No clean food is going to satisfy anything, and you can keep trying to fill the hole, the void, the empty in your life with food. It's never going to be full, and your husband's never going to want to touch you, and you can't reach your own fucking bean. All you have in life to get off is food, and now you're about to keel over in a diabetic coma. It was the last thing she had. Oh, that's a shame. To the people who say she doesn't live her karma and shit like that, I say, bitch, what? A sexless marriage with a husband who hates her as much as we do. Stuck on the other side of the world, doesn't even have a key to her own apartment. Pushing 500 pounds, can't breathe. About to keel over in a fucking diabetic coma, y'all. I don't get it. People think she's living a good life. Where's the karma? It's right in front of you. What the fuck? Soulless, thank you for the super chat. That's funny. A worm also put a ring on her. Bloop.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second too. Salah, I think I'm saying his name right. That if he's thinking he's gonna get Canadian citizenship out of this, I don't know if it's anything like the American immigration system, but that could take years, and they generally are looking for immigration fraud too. So if he was to then immediately divorce her, he could be deported for that. I don't know if he realizes that, but he just made a massive commitment to stay with her for at least a decade or more to get that citizenship, if that's his goal. And I think he's a lot younger than her from what I've heard on other streams. So he's probably thinking, well, I can go do something else in my 40s. But that's a long ass time, a long piece of your life, just to try and, get Canadian citizenship.
So I need to learn how to cope, and I can't right now.
Wait. Since we're talking about the ring, though, you remember back in the good old days where, Chantal didn't have to wait for a man to put a ring on it. She was fully willing and able to buy herself an engagement ring and go and take solo engagement shots at Gatineau Park. We all remember that, right? Yeah, I remember. I remember it well. I'm going to put a ring on one of you bitches again. This was some horrible segue into our next giveaway. And here it is. We've done it before. We're doing it again. I'm looking to poke the pig as much as we can. The next giveaway tonight is, of course, the Jafar ring. Yes, that's right. The infamous Jafar ring. The one and only from the peoples in Cornwall. The ring that she bought herself to get engaged to herself, to go high on cocaine to Gatineau Park and take her own alone engagement photos. That's right. Let me pull up the random comment picker, and we will see which one of you beaches is Frenchie putting a
20% off.
God.
Every
ring on tonight. Ooh. My voice makes it all sound creepy. I'm sorry if it sounds creepy. All right. So, the winner of the Jafar ring, well, 2023's Jafar ring, is Pandora 887. Woo! Congratulations, Pandora 887. That is fantastic. Remember, reach out to me, frenchfriedgirl@gmail.com. All one word. Let me just mark this down on my paper. Pandora 887. Yes, girl, we are engaged. Except, I deny the whole thing. No, this is propaganda. But if you want to pay my rent, biche, by all means. Anyway, congratulations on winning your very own Jafar ring that you did not have to support a crackhead for a year and a half to get, nor did you have to do any lines of cocaine. Yay!
Nice.
Back to the reaction.
Ugh.
And I find since having high blood sugar, I'm so ravenous all the time.
Oh my God, you guys! It's so messy that she's having to clean up the front of the table because there's so much sauce on that sandwich. This is terrible, you guys. This is terrible. And in the middle of it, she's gonna start talking about her blood sugar while she's scarfing all this down. All right, let's go.
Hi. Anyway.
She's gonna lose her legs.
Oh, what's that you're washing down those 2 sandwiches and multiple bags of chips with? It's the juice that you said wasn't for you. Of course. Wasn't that for Salad and his guests? Huh? Yeah. So if you're drinking the juice, isn't it fair to assume you're also the one who ate all the chocolates? I mean, is going to eat all the chocolates? No, I was right the first time. I bet you anything all those chocolates are gone.
Well,
yes, she did say that. That was for Salad and his guests. And here she is.
well, and also she's, after doing that huge ass grocery haul, a week later she said that they were out of groceries. And some of those things were like freezer foods and cabinet foods and things that would keep for a while, right? So how could she be out of all that by now? Like, I understand you need to get through your fresh produce, your meat. Although you could freeze some of your meat too, but plus, why are you eating out if you have that much in your fridge right now? Like, I eat out, like, I order something maybe like once a month. But the majority of what I eat is stuff that's in my fridge or in my cabinet. You know?
glug, 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 out of the biggest mug that she could find to drink it out of.
Mm-hmm.
Lily's pad, inshallah. Thank you for the super chat, girl.
At least she's closed her mouth this time.
My obsession with food.
It's pretty gross when she talks while she's eating.
The chunks of chicken here are so huge. It has been going on since I'm a child.
Why? What happened?
Oral fixation, go on.
From a very young age, McDonald's is like ingrained.
I went to McDonald's. I'm
The
not.
Happy Meal, the toys. When I was a kid, the toys was Fraggle Rock.
By the way, Marty Croft died yesterday. I don't know if you. I think it was yesterday. At least that's when I saw the posting about it. The creator of Fraggle Rock, amongst other programs that originally aired on Saturday mornings and then went into syndication for after school programming for my generation and probably for hers as well. I don't know. I think somebody said she's 40 and Amber Lynn is, I think, 36 because she said she was born in 1990, right? Okay, am I doing the math on that right? Hold up. If it's 1990, it's 1, 2, 3, that's like 33, right? I think so. Trying to do my math on this. It's a little early in the morning here. So we got one of them is 33 and apparently is having some sort of crazy Thanksgiving weekend, getting so drunk that this is the Amber Lynn one. She's gotten so drunk that she allowed some really creepy dude to get up all in her business, and she gave him her phone number, and he butt dialed her because he probably has a drinking problem too. And then she came home from a bingo night with her mom and got even more trashed because she had alcohol in the house. And then several hours later, live streamed again, looking like she had been crying, made some sort of vague reference to, I just got off the phone with whom? It's a little early in the morning to be having, phone calls with your friends, right? Little early in the morning, there was basically just dawn breaking through her window at this point. But anyway, let's get back to Chantel.
But for a long time, my mom was a single mom, and she had to work or, go to school. She was young. And I had to be left with a lot with my grandmother on my dad's side. My grandparents on my dad's side are both dead. My grandfather on my dad's side was morbidly obese.
The fuck are we watching? I'm getting angry. I'm sitting here angry, shaking my head.
This is her therapy session. She is looking to us to, basically provide comments that say, oh, I'm so sorry for you, Chantel, that you had such a rough childhood and you learned bad habits from being with your grandfather while your single mom was working so hard to provide for you. Okay.
The grandparents' fault now that you're a death fat? No, it's your mother's fault. She's the cause of your oral fixation. And your oral fixation is why you can't stop hand to mouth, hand to mouth, hand to mouth to this day. It literally is that simple. You also refuse to go and get professional help. So how can you ever change that behavior? That behavior that is so deeply ingrained into your brain and so massively a part of who you are at your core, bitch. Oral fixation, this is one of your first stages of life as a baby, fuck. It's like, c'est plus fort que toi at a certain point. But you are an adult and you are in control of your own hands. So I guess it's not really plus fort que toi. You gotta be stronger than it, right? But you can't blame your grandfather was fat and your father was fat and whatever. You have oral fixation. A lot of people in the world have oral fixation. I have oral fixation. I do. Now, I'm certainly not a skinny, but I'm not pushing 500 pounds. I'm not about to die of diabetes. You know what I mean? There's degrees to this shit. I'm just saying, at what point, though, do you stop blaming everything? It's not because of your grandfather, and it's not because of anything else. It's because of your mother, okay? And your grandmother. Whoever was taking care of you during that early stage of life fucked up in a big, big way.
I think that's what she's saying, though. I think she's saying that Grandpa was involved in the preparation of meals. Maybe I'm misinterpreting her, but I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, and she's trying to blame her grandfather just for being in the room and looking a certain way. I mean, I went to McDonald's as a kid. There's you know, my grandmother was usually the one that would take us for lunch or something, and they didn't even, this like predates play places. You know, this is like early 80s, because really beyond like 83 I don't think we went very much anymore, but we would go. And I don't even think this is like at the very beginning of Happy Meals even being a thing. Like back then, the menu just consisted of like the smaller burgers. Like you could get a burger or a cheeseburger for your kids, but they didn't have toys and all this bullshit. But you know what? I took my son to McDonald's occasionally, very infrequently, but occasionally if they had a cool toy. And you know what? He didn't grow up to become a 500-pound beast. In fact, he's physically fit and serving in the military.
Right there. Pixie, thank you for the super chat, girl.
I remember being a kid and being shocked at seeing him with his shirt off, at how large he was. He died.
Ironically, you in that bathtub full of peeps with your shirt off still haunts me to this day. So I get what you're saying, but understand, you have become to other people what your grandfather was to you.
A stroke in his 70s.
Oh, he had a stroke in his 70s. Okay, because you're 40. I'm just saying, you're 40. I'm waiting, as she's eating this sandwich, as she's talking about her fat grandpa and stuff, I'm waiting for one side of her face to start drooping. Be like, oh God, she's having the stroke right now. He was 70.
And then my grandmother, heavy smoker. I remember she would always just be at the table cooking something, cracking open a Diet Coke, and lighting a cigarette every few minutes, like every, few minutes or so.
Why does her grandma sound like me?
She used to have me go in her closet and grab her a pack from her carton. Players Light.
I love how she harps on the cigarette thing, eh? Then there was my grandma, heavy smoker. First thing she has to say, okay. You're not a heavy smoker. You smoke, but you're not a heavy smoker, but you're still about to keel over into a diabetic coma, possibly lose a limb. And that's a best case scenario. So what fucking difference does it make? Honest to God, why do you harp so hard on cigarettes? You should be so lucky to only have the problems that would come from cigarettes. And I actually mean that, as psycho as that is. Gail, thank you for the super chat.
No, I agree with you. Even though smoking is bad for all of us, it is not nearly as bad as overeating like this, because smoking generally takes decades to actually put you in real danger with your organs and stuff like that. For most people who are smokers, it could potentially cause asthma, I would think, but you might already need to be prone to asthma, because I think a lot of smokers never get asthma. But generally, when you look at smokers who smoked their entire lives, they start feeling the consequences of it when they're elderly, like emphysema and shit like that. And it is oftentimes reversible if you quit smoking, because your lungs will start coughing up the tar and stuff that's kind of stuck in your lungs. But for an eating disorder of this magnitude, you're going to have high blood pressure, you're going to have blood sugar issues, you're causing more strain on your heart to just pump blood through your body. I mean, I would imagine this is even more dangerous than being exceptionally tall, because tall people generally have a shorter lifespan because it's more difficult for their hearts to pump blood throughout their body. Look at the mass there. Her heart has got to be really struggling to pump blood through all of that mass.
Was the bread. I never liked going in that room. Her room was dark and cold. It felt haunted. And it didn't help that when she told me when her husband, my grandfather, passed away, that she saw him in that room.
Everybody returns to the ground.
That's the house with the ghost in the basement. Anyway. I looked forward to going because
I can't take her seriously when she comes out in like her little low BMI rage stream yesterday, talking about how she's matured and she's like changing for the better and stuff. And then she's going to sit there double fisting 2 sandwiches and 2 bags of chips with mayonnaise on her face. Who takes you seriously with the fucking mayonnaise on your face? You are the biggest joke on the internet, Chantal. Stop coming out and trying to do little serious videos with stupid little music edits. They only make you seem even that much more ridiculous, because then the next day, this is what you come out and give us. Fuck, man. She doesn't realize what a joke she is. Of course she's lying.
You know what's interesting, too? I've covered a couple of these React channel videos on foodie beauty. And I do so with Colleen Ballinger, the Frankie family, the 8 passengers, with Amber Lynn, and with Eugenia Cooney, and a lot of other stories, right? Okay, so I have comments on hold so I can screen them before they show up on my channel, because there's so many stands out there. There's so many people that just troll around YouTube looking for people who are calling out these bad behaviors and want to support their favorite person, whether it be like, the biggest ones are like Eugenia and Colleen, right? And so often I just hit the delete key on those horrible comments that I get. But in the case of covering Foodie Beauty and covering Amber Lynn, I never get any pushback, not whatsoever. Um, which tells me that their fan base doesn't actually they have hate watchers, right? They don't have like a fan base that's like, we love you, you're so good, we're gonna troll the internet and defend your honor. That doesn't happen with these two ladies at all.
Of course she's lying. This whole thing is a lie. This cockamamie story that she's telling right now, in my opinion, is bullshit meant to distract us so we don't see how many chips she's eaten already. And we don't see how many chips she's going to eat by the time this little story is done. It's complete bullshit, knowing most people will dissociate during this story and we're not going to notice the chips. She's distracting us. Manda, thank you for the super chat.
I knew I would be eating good. I was spoiled.
Ooh, that's...
She's doing it right in front of our face, though. And she also laid it all out on the table for us to see before she even started. So we know what she's eating.
really fucked up. I knew we would be eating good. I was spoiled. What kind of little shit apple is spoiled in terms of food? That's a very weird thing to say. I knew we'd be eating well. I was spoiled. What a weird way to spoil a kid. You were spoiled in every way that a kid can be spoiled. It's so much deeper than the food, but yeah, the food too. That is fucking tragic, eh? The way she just said that. I knew we'd be eating good. I was spoiled.
Yeah.
So she would make me comforting meals. And snacks. They're so comforting and memorable. Ingrained in my memory that I still dream about being there.
Because you need professional help. So memorable, so ingrained in her memory, and she dreams about it. And they were such comforting. Notice even the like adjectives she's throwing in about these meals, right? Comforting, so comforting meals and snacks and stuff, because she didn't have the comfort of her mother. This all just goes back to the oral fixation stage and stuff. They tried to appease a little fat girl with the thing that she liked. Okay. I was a little fat girl, okay? And when I was still in Greece, and I would go running, bring me over to my grandmother's house, and I would go running in. I barely knew any words yet. I'm that young. And I would go running into the kitchen, grab onto the end of my grandmother's like dress and go, num, 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 like feed me. I was a little fatty too. I get it, right? But they were doing that to you to calm you down, let's say to comfort you, because unlike me, let's say my mom was bringing me over to my grandma's house, you know what I mean? You were dumped at your grandma's house by your mom while she went out and chased your alcoholic father who didn't want anything to do with either one of you. So they had to comfort the little screaming, crying fat kid. They shoved food in your hand and you probably calmed the fuck down. This is not difficult to piece together. Kim T, thank you for the super chat, girl.
I guess I'm assuming that French Fried Girl has seen some live streams where she's talked about her family before, because that's, unless she said that herself about her mother, that's a pretty weird assumption to make about a single mom. So I'm going to go with the assumption that Chantel must have complained about her mother in the past and her behavior. I can tell you, I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' house in the early 80s and the late 70s when my mom was working on her degree. and also had, a day job after my parents got divorced. Separated and then divorced, right? And her parents were part of the greatest generation, right? Very conservative. So we ate a lot of small meals, very small meals. They were oftentimes slathered in butter, but they were generally small meals, and my grandma was rather insistent that we have a yellow vegetable with every meal. We were eating things like corned beef hash, but certainly we didn't have, we had pretty small plates, and our meals were portioned out pretty small, and we were skinny, very skinny kids, my brother and I.
This is during a time in my childhood where my dad was more involved.
The lies. I would actually guess by that, this was during a time in my childhood where my mom and dad were still kind of involved with each other. So my mom was still busy chasing after the alcoholic father who didn't want anything to do with the two of us. They were still kind of together. When he goes out of the picture, the mother kind of comes back like more often, let's say, into Chantal's picture. I think that's what she means by her father was in the picture. This is bullshit.
So yeah, sometimes in my dreams, even my food obsession follows me in my dreams. I have dreams of being back at my grandmother's house. She used to make these tiny little sweet and sour meatballs. They were so good. She would give me these little chicken nuggets with Diana's barbecue sauce. It was so good. Magic moments, butterscotch or vanilla pudding. She would take.
This is so fucked up to me. Yeah, Grandma Spud, what an absolute failure. How do you remember every snack that you had as a kid and stuff? I only remember that thing about mama, my grandmother, because they tell me that story. You know what I mean? I don't remember what the fuck I asked, or what I ate, or who the fuck remembers that thing, or that kind of thing from childhood. Again, this is a fatty speaking. I have no goddamn idea. She remembers the details of every snack she ever had as a kid. It's very, very weird. It haunts her to this day. It's in her dreams and stuff. Weirdo. Feral Girl, thank you for the super chat.
Fresh loaf of bread, cut thick slices, and put thick slices of fresh, like St. Albert's cheese. If you're from Ontario, St. Albert's cheese, and put it under the broiler. And I could still see her leaning over the oven to keep an eye with a dart in her hand. But she used to get mad at me for asking for extra pudding.
Another thing, who the fuck calls it a dart? Is that an Ontario thing? Let me know, Ontario, because I've never heard anybody call it a dart who's my age. That's just so fucking weird to me. A dart. Squidgy, hey girl, thank you for the super chat.
What's a dart?
Excuse me.
It's not an Ontario thing? Where the fuck did she get that from then? A dart? You say dart in BC? Okay. High schoolers in Ontario call it a dart. Well, that makes sense since her brain is stuck at 16. Okay.
What
Definitely
is
a rural thing. Okay.
Even back then, she would tell my mom, I think Chantal has a problem with food. She wouldn't keep asking for snacks.
Right, Delulu? Thank you for the super chat, but we knew.
Well, Well, what kind of snacks? I mean, like, what she described were actual meals for the most part, right? Like the meatballs and stuff. That's not a snack. What kind of snacks were being put out for you? Because I can tell you, when I was raising my son, I was putting out like sliced apples, oranges, celery. Those were the snacks. And then I fed him a meal at the end of the day, right? I gave him breakfast, lunch, some healthy snacks, and dinner, right? Because kids have high metabolisms, especially if they're actually not just sitting in front of the TV all day watching Croft Superstars, right? Okay.
So the history goes way back. Remember my first bag of chips? How it made me feel.
What?
Tell these stories to a therapist. We've heard her say that before, and my jaw drops every time like I'm hearing it for the first time. I still remember how my first bag of chips made me feel.
I don't.
What? I barely remember any of those like firsts from. I remember like how my first roller coaster made me feel. It was the Monster at La Ronde. Oh, I was scared. That's how I felt. I felt fucking terrified. I was about to pee myself. I remember that. I remember how my first like kiss when I was a teenager made me feel. Things like, you know what I mean? Who remembers their first bag of chips? Let alone how it made you feel. This is insanity. Bitch, get help. Yeah. Melanie, thank you so much for the super chat.
I don't believe that she actually has that memory. I think that she's become so fixated on food over time that she's rewriting history for herself and making up memories. Also, you have to remember that like when you're a little kid, the adults around you look much larger than they do when you're an adult and the same height as them or close to the same height as them. Because, like, for instance, I was so skinny as a little girl, and I was looking at my mom thinking, okay, she's big, right? But I look back at pictures from that time period, and I realized, no, actually, she looked great. She, she definitely wasn't, like, twiggy or anything, but she looked great. And it's all in perspective of life experiences, but I don't think that this chick actually remembers the first time she had chips, because the first time she had chips was probably when she was about like 3 years old. That's impossible. I call suspect on that one, Foodie.
Okay, so this is the second sandwich. It's the meat feast with pickles, black olives, lettuce, tomato.
It's called the meat feast.
She hasn't even talked about it. So
here's what happened. She went to get one sandwich, but then she glanced over and she saw meat feast, and her blue fupa balls kind of like pew pew. They acted up. And she's like, I haven't had a meat feast since I paid the crackheads rent. So she's like, she couldn't deny herself the meat feast that she's not having. So, she's looking at it the way you would look at maybe an Arby's sandwich. Maybe the way you looked at the Arby's sandwich as you dove onto that purple mattress. Look at the way she is looking at that meat flap sandwich. That's so fucking gross, man. Oh, no. Yes, the second sandwich. Linda, good point. Salad. Where's salad to pry this fucking... Just run up to her and, like, slap that fucking sandwich right out of her hand. Be like, no, heifer, you already had one. He's so supportive, you guys. He's my fucking rock with floppy tits. God. Moonlight, thank you for the super chat. Congratulations, girl.
Extra mayo, salt, pepper.
Extra mayo. Okay, I don't know how much longer I'm going to go with this because it's starting to make me want to throw up. It's just like all right, let's go a little bit longer.
And oil and vinegar on Parmesan oregano. It's kind of like their version of the cold cut trio, but it's like beef products, so it has roast beef.
Oh, you notice that she's talking, she just slides an entire other bag of chips onto that tray. 2 sandwiches, 2 bags of chips. Tabarnak.
Pepperoni, salami, but it's made with a different animal, except for besides a pig, obviously, because Islam country.
Fat fuck. Islam country. That's not even logical sentence there, because, Islam country. They have enough pig right now in Kuwait. They don't need more on that bun, okay? Gluttony is ham. You might as well be sitting there eating 2 fucking bacon sandwiches, you massive hypocrite.
It's so good.
Oh no. Chantal's Temu haul insulin. No. Thank you for the super chat. You are right, girl. She just looked at that sandwich like she was going in to give it a blowjob. Hold on. Look at the way she's making eye contact with his one eye. You know what I mean? She's like, hey, baby. She just looked at that sandwich before the bite like she was going to deep throat it.
Okay.
Look.
It's a mini miracle. They're back.
But this franchise is like not affiliated with Subway.
Yeah, I imagine not. It's not called Subway, right?
Jen Myers, thank you so much for the super chat, girl. You're right.
So they put so much pickles.
Stop making sex noises as you deep throat that sandwich. They put so much pickles because you ordered the pickles. Oh my God, they put so much mayo because you ordered the mayo. Fuck, man. I swear, I'm waiting for one side of her mouth to just start drooping as she's talking. She is going to have a stroke in one of these videos. And frankly, at this point, I'm fucking here for it. It's what I'm waiting for. Oh, someone's going to be like, Frenchie, that's so mean. Frenchie, you're the bad guy. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I am the fucking bad guy. I don't care. It is what it is. I want to see that fucking face droop. Let's go. She's it would be funny if she was stuffing her face and raging at the same time, and mid-sentence, mid-rage, she just starts fucking stroking out, and she's like drooping. Her whole fucking body's drooping. She can't move her arm and shit while she's mid-range, rage with a mouthful of food. That is what I'm fucking talking about.
Who the hell wants pickles on their sandwich anyway? I never get pickles on my sandwiches. I don't get pickles on my burgers. The only thing I will do pickles on is I'll do a Chicago dog where they put a pickle, like a sliver pickle, down the side of the hot dog. That is the closest I'll get to having a pickle on anything. I can't stand pickles. I don't want pickles in my potato salad. I do not want pickles in my tuna salad. I cannot stand, I hate pickles. Especially sweet pickles. I cannot stand sweet pickles. at all.
What the L? Thank you for the super chat, girl. Oh my God. I don't think they're worthy of the calendar. Listen, I would say it would bug Chantal, it would piss her off, and yada yada. She's already so butthurt about this fucking calendar. Fuck her mother. They're not getting a fucking calendar. How's that?
What's going on with the mom?
Just to show you how far back. This obsession with food goes.
Mad Murd, thank you for the super chat. Very much part of the cycle, right? The giving up and butting everything. It's never going to be her fault. It's not that she's a gluttonous pig who can't fucking put her hands down. Yeah, but my grandpa was fat. Yeah, but there's so many bullies. And yeah, but I need to eat my fucking bullies away.
I feel like it's impossible to overcome. I feel like defeated.
Seems like she's in a big hurry to finish that sandwich too. She's taking some pretty big bites. You know, one of these times she's gonna fucking choke on camera. That might happen before she has a stroke on camera.
Oh, it fucking would. Oh, Gail, thank you for the super chat. But you know that would never shut her up. She's like a cockroach. She'll just never go away. She will. You know that Kanye West song where he's literally spitting through the wire? It's called Through the Wire. He has his jaw wired shut and he's still rapping a song. I bet you anything she would come out wired shut with a straw and a massive smoothie. And the smoothie, just out of spite, would be like a 2,000 calorie smoothie. And she would be as annoying as ever, low BMI, voicing us through a fucking wired jaw.
That's the best way I can describe it. So,
I don't know how you cover so much of this. I mean, how can you sit through all of it?
She's not even talking. We are literally just watching a death fat shove 2 fucking sandwiches and 2 bags of chips in her mouth. And when she doesn't have her stupid story about blaming her grandma and grandpa, we sit in silence and listen to her chew. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
Ooh, a milkshake. She would be eating milkshakes. Hell yeah, she would. Jessica Smith, thank you so much for the super chat. Because she doesn't care. Leaving Las Vegas, but with food.
God damn.
yeah. But I still dream about. I told Lottie this before. Driving around in my dreams, visiting different fast food places.
Uh-huh. Oh, she's homesick. You're dreaming about driving around, visiting different fast food places. Girl, just go home. I told you, if you seriously want to go home, I seriously will buy you the plane ticket. It'll only be one way, though. But, I mean, it's 2 seats. So technically, you got 2 seats out of it, right, fatty? I will buy you that plane ticket to come home whenever you're really that homesick. The Bergie, thank you for the super chat, girl.
It seems like a lot of the videos she's done lately have been an evaluation of her life, trying to at first convince herself that she's made the right life choices, which clearly she has not, and then lamenting that she can't get her eating problems into check. But the whole talking about Slaw all the time like that. As you know, I have the best marriage in the world, blah blah blah, but she never leaves her apartment. Um, and she's sitting there binging all the time, and he's nowhere to be seen. Does he even know that this is how she maintains her mass? Is he paying attention to how severe the problem is? Does he watch her live streams? Does he circle back and watch her live streams?
Hey, Jerry's Keeper.
Or good girl.
Oh,
Scratching her post.
here we go. Bootleg BBJ. Wait. Yesterday she came out lying, of course, talking about how they had the appointment to go and have the cat's nails clipped, and they were going to do that every 3 months. She's a young cat. She's working her nails right now on her thing. What do you have to go and cut her nails for? Wasn't that the whole fucking thing? Young cats, you were so unaware of what was going on with BBJ, because young cats who are working their claws, you don't have to go and cut their nails that often and stuff, if ever. If she's working her nails, what doesn't that kind of prove that yesterday was a lie? I mean, we know yesterday was a lie, but 3 weeks, she said. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Sure, because when you're gonna lie, you gotta make it an absolutely outrageous lie. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. 3 weeks? Who cuts a cat's nails every 3 weeks? Who uses their nails? We all know about BBJ and that she doesn't work her nails on things, and that's how the whole predicament started. BBJ doesn't get her nails trimmed every 3 weeks. That's fucking batshit crazy. Completely crazy. Ringworm bath. Aha. Shine sincerity. That sounds a lot more likely to me. Absolutely. Rachel, thank you for the super chat. And what does she eat when the camera is off? Oh, all of his chocolates. His chocolates. The chocolates.
Yeah, definitely. If you're a pet owner, you need to be checking not only your cat's claws, but your dog's paws. Because, I've seen people within my circle neglect their animals. And I've seen those claws, or what are they called, claws on dogs? Or are they just, I don't know. They will curl back and then re-enter the paw. And yeah, you have to be very careful about where you clip them. That's why you need a veterinarian to take a look at these things, because there is a vein or an artery or something that runs within the nail, the claw, whatever. And if you cut it back too far, they could bleed to death. So it does need to be done by a professional. And she's right. If your cat's not trying to maintain this on their own, even if they are, I take my cat Pumpkin to the vet at least once a year to not only get his shots, but to have his nails trimmed back, his claws, and to get a shave, because he doesn't take care of his coat anymore. And so once we start getting into the warmer months, he really mats up his fur on his back. And the only way to solve that is by shaving it all off. So he gets a medical shave that is like a lion shave. He has little poofs on his feet, and he has a poof at the end of his tail, and he has a little lion's mane. And we do this once a year so that he slowly grows the coat back in time for winter, but it's still short enough that he's not matting it up too early in the season. Take care of your animals. If you're going to be an animal lover, if you're going to be an animal owner, take care of your animals.
Strolling along a street at night with like tons. Each row of the street on either side is lined with well-lit restaurants.
Strolling implies you were walking. You were driving along, strolling along. Fucking hell. Roast beef memories. This is bad. Why hasn't the cat been spayed? Because Chantal's a fucking irresponsible bitch who'd rather spend the money on 2 sandwiches and 2 bags of chips. Isabella, thank you for the super chat. I just got here. What the hell is she eating? 2 subs and 2 bags of chips and a giant beer mug full of the juice that she yesterday claimed was for salad and his guests.
And I'm overwhelmed with the choices. I don't actually eat in my dream. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't wait too long on getting your pet spayed or neutered, because at least one of the vets that I was working with told me that basically it will make at least in the case of a female cat, it will make them more prone to breast cancer if they're an older cat when they finally get spayed. And when I had adopted my cat from the animal shelter, Snuffles, she was, while in the shelter, not spayed, but part of the agreement to adopt her was that I would pay for that surgery. And I don't think they estimated her age correctly, because they assumed she was only a couple of years old, but they also said something about she probably had already had several litters because her belly was really stretched out from pregnancy. And so she was probably already like 5, 6, 7 years old by the time I adopted her, because she ended up passing away from breast cancer in 2011. And both tracts of her kitty nipples got completely, like totally filled with tumors. So I had to pay probably more than $1,000 each time to have the tracts removed. And then she died a couple months later after the last surgery. It's nothing to mess around with. Like, if you have a young cat, hopefully these cats are young, get it done. As long as it's, within the window. There is, like, you can't do it when they're kittens, but the cat that's walking around behind her all the time looks like an adult cat.
That's one of the worst videos she's ever put out.
So,
honest to God, if at this point I wasn't just waiting for the stroke, I would have dipped out on this. I feel like now we can't ever really fully dip. We can skip ahead, but I want to be here for when the face starts to droop and she can't like raise her arm anymore. I want to see it happen. I've put 7 years into this. I want to see how it ends. Creepin' Sheep, thank you for the super chat. Oh, it can't be too loud because my voice is fucked, but a bloopity bloop. Thank you for being here, girl. And I'm glad you liked the new intro. Yay. I was nervous about the new intro, to be honest, between all of you guys and me. The old intro is so fucking iconic and close to my heart, and I know we all loved it and stuff. I was nervous. I've been sitting on that song for days. Like, should we do it? Nope. Should we do it? Nope. Fucking just did it tonight. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad we can at least be open to change. How's that? Because, you got no choice sometimes. Anyway, listen. We'll discuss it further later in the week, okay? I'm going to tell you everything that happened with that fucking song, that fucking band, and everything.
Okay.
It's very weird.
Now she's double-fisted.
One of my favorite foods is a good deli sandwich.
But consider the size. Consider the size of all the food she just consumed. And consider the size of a normal, healthy stomach. She must have done so much damage to her stomach at this point that it is so stretched out. Because how else are you going to fit all that food in there? It's not like it slides right into your intestines after that. It sits in the stomach and churns around with bile and stuff while it's getting digested. So that means that she had to really stretch out her stomach in order to be able to fit all that food in there. Because it's simply not humanly possible for a normal-sized person to fit that much food in their stomach that quickly. She pounded that meal. Because, French Fried Girl and I have interrupted the video several times. I think she starts the eating portion about 9 minutes into her video. So we're talking 48 minutes she cleared all that food.
Okay, I'm skipping to the end. If there's no droop, we'll just leave. One of my favorite foods is anything that I can put into my mouth.
No, I'm sorry. Less than 48 minutes, because a lot of that 48 minutes was French Fried Girl breaking it up with her own commentary. So we're talking probably about 30 minutes to clear all that food by herself with her cat. That's one of the saddest, most pathetic things I've seen in a long time.
She could have said anything there. Has anyone ever heard her say that? A good jelly sandwich is one of her favorite foods. A jelly sandwich? You
Just
fucking
jelly?
asshole. You like white sliced basic bitch Wonder Bread and that god-awful bologna shit from, with the macaronis in it. That is not a good jelly sandwich. That is white trash bullshit food for a white trash bullshit bitch.
Lots of love on this stream, you guys. Lots of love.
Man, she just keeps the fucking camera rolling until the last chip the crumb of the last chip is in her mouth. Quality content right here.
It doesn't look like it's monetized either. Like, I know that yours is, right, French Fried Girl? Yours is monetized because it's highly monetized, by the way, because I have to keep trying to, get through these ads. But hers is not getting broken up by ads. That's interesting. So what's the point of doing this if she's not talking about getting donations while she's doing it? She doesn't appear to have any monetization on the channel. What am I missing here? Is this just a mental health issue at this point?
I don't know how to stop wanting this food. And if I'm going to want it forever, that's going to be really hard.
Yeah, some things, fatty, in life are hard. That's probably the first time you've ever heard that before, and you're 40. But some things in life are hard. It is what it is. People quit vices every day. They say, like, if you quit smoking cigarettes, let's say, you'll want a cigarette still forever. Some people, anyway. Some people, like 20 years later, can just smell a cigarette and they'll go back to smoking. Fighting the fuck shit is the point of life, right? Things in life are hard. Doesn't mean you don't fucking do them, or you just fucking stroke out on camera. I mean, I suppose at this point it's your choice. I'm kind of here for it either way. I don't really care. I don't. This is not my family. This is not somebody I care for at all. If she wants to lose a limb, cool. If she gets that far, something tells me the stroke on live is what we're probably going to see first. And I don't fucking care. I'm here for it.
All right, guys. I will see you after. I'll have a vlog out maybe later letting you know how the doctor's visits go. Doctor visit goes. And yeah, thanks for having lunch with me. I know this wasn't healthy.
I know this wasn't healthy, but bitch, it's not our leg. We don't fucking care. Keep excusing every binge that you have. Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't a binge. Sure. Okay. You don't need to even, no, yeah, but we don't care. Good luck to you and your limb and your stroke and your fucking diabetic coma, and good luck to however they're going to figure out to bring you back to Canada, and good luck to the schmuck who's going to have to build a casket wide enough for your ass. Good luck. Peachy, thank you so much for the super chat, girl.
Okay, that's all I'm going to cover of this video, because now she's going to go into like some historical shit of her going to like Toronto or some such crap. But you know, as we go through the holidays, and there's going to be a temptation to do a lot of overeating, because not only did we just have a huge like turkey meal, at least for Americans, right? But there's going to be a lot of like holiday candies out, and you know, for the Jewish people, they're going to be having their like latkes and big, you know, meals that way. And the Christians are all going to be like probably getting Christmas hams, or maybe even having another turkey again, or maybe a lamb. Some people like to do lamb, or the Feast of 5 Fishes on Christmas Eve. You know, just everything in moderation, you guys. Try not to. You know what? One of my problems every year, because I have high blood pressure, is I really love ham. And what I used to do is get a golden baked ham, serve it out for Christmas, and then eat the rest. Like, I always have leftovers, you guys. I'd eat the rest of it over the course of a week, and then take the bone and make ham bone soup out of it with some lentils and stuff. But it's so high sodium that it made me feel like shit. So pay attention to your bodies. Don't overindulge to the point where you get sick. You know, especially for those of us that are getting a little older. Just be careful of all that, because she's right. Chantel could stroke out right on camera. It could happen. Just like Eugenia could fucking have a heart attack during a live. And I imagine that's probably why her mom is like fucking shadowing her at all times. Just take care of yourselves, and happy holidays, and be mindful of, you know, overeating, you guys.